What happens when a man with a violent past meets a zero-tolerance courtroom? Today's case is a collision of poor choices, missed opportunities, and one final shot at redemption. Carlos Terces stands accused of assaulting a peace officer, a serious charge that could land him behind bars for 2 decades. But the story doesn't end there. This courtroom drama includes mental health twists, a tangle of family complications, and a plea deal that shocks even the seasoned viewers. Will the judge go lenient or make Carlos an example? You won't believe what unfolds. Buckle up, this is one courtroom showdown you don't want to miss.
State is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Terrazas, did you review what's entitled Application for Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented? They're waiving the enhancement paragraph allegation and proceeding on the indictment. Thank you. All right. Did you review the document entitled Court's Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with assault of a peace officer or judge, bodily injury? That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine.
Sir.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Here's where things get real. The judge breaks down the defendant's rights: jury trial, cross-examination, and the right to remain silent. It's a critical moment because by pleading guilty, Carlos is waiving these protections. If you're wondering why that matters, it means he's fully accepting the consequences. No backing out, no retrial. The judge is making sure Carlos understands. This is his last off-ramp before a guilty verdict becomes official.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe he does, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe he was, Your Honor.
Mr. Terrazas, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
Amen.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
Amen.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 10 years in the prison.
Carlos just agreed to a 10-year sentence, but not behind bars. The state is recommending community supervision, not prison time. That's probation, but with strings attached. $2,000 fine, community service, and close monitoring. Here's the twist: it's not guaranteed. The judge can still reject the plea if anything smells off. And that's where the courtroom tension builds.
Places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions? Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your community supervision be for a term of 10 years. There be a TAP evaluation and 200 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the office as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. State exhibit number 1 with all this attached.
Any
Okay.
objections? And state, have you had contact with the complainant?
We have not in this particular case. It is an officer, so we do have contact, but not direct contact.
All right, thank you. You may be excused. Did you review the document entitled Waiving Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty.
Boom, guilty. The judge officially accepts the state's exhibits and finds Carlos guilty of assaulting a peace officer. That's a major turning point. The defense is now walking a tightrope, trying to humanize Carlos, dig into his background, and argue that he deserves probation, not a prison cell.
Since the inception of this case, throughout that time, I've had an opportunity to not only counsel with him, but we've gone through the competency and the mental health evaluation. Through that, because I didn't have a lot of contact with his family prior to that, but I think through that process, I did reach out to a lot of family members, and through that process, I think they have become a lot more supportive of Mr. Terrazas. I have pretty good communication with his mom and his sister. He was found competent and sane at the time, but through that process, it was found.
Amit, this is one of the most emotional and strategic moments. Carlos's lawyer reveals a mental health history and claims that Carlos has finally turned a corner. He's seeking treatment, he's asking for help, and here's the key detail. Carlos already spent 17 months in custody. That's time served, and a potential bargaining chip to show that he's already paid a price.
His hope that he gets the help that he needs. I think he recognizes that there are some issues that he hopes to address, and this is not the easy route, Judge. He chose the much harder route against advice. Mm-hmm. He had 17 months in, he had a 4-year, he could have been out. But he really made that turn where he's saying, I think this is best for me. I think getting the help, I think addressing these issues. Finally, I don't want to go any more further along in my life without, if I need to be on medications, if this is something that I'm diagnosed with. I really think that he turned a corner and really hoping to address those issues. So we would ask the court to take all of that into consideration in following the plea bargain, and just judge in the.
Carlos could have walked away with less time months ago, but instead he stayed the course, trying to secure mental health court intervention, which was denied. His lawyer frames this not as manipulation, but as growth. The real question is the judge buying it. Viewers, would you give Carlos probation after hearing this plea?
Well, at least corresponding through email, and it sounds like they only accept pretrial diversions. Yes. So they will not accept him. So prior to that, he was saying, I really want to try, I want to get back in there, because the other alternative was a request to transfer this to Tarrant County. That is where his mother and his sister live. And speaking with both of them, they have open doors for him. That is a place that he can go to. Additionally, Judge, I'd let my client know, and he's aware, I don't have a lot of information on it. Ms. Ferguson was kind enough to print it up. He does have 2 holds out of Tarrant County. So with that request, we know that he's going to be held and transferred to Tarrant County. So I'd ask the court to consider transferring this, since he probably will be out there. I know that the family is eager to bond him out. It's my understanding that these are tickets, but I don't have any way of showing that, Judge.
Right. So are those traffic tickets?
One of those were for not having permission driving the vehicle.
Okay.
The other one was they said I spanked my stepson, and they charged me with I think it's endangerment to a child, but it's a misdemeanor.
I didn't have that, Judge.
Okay, I don't think that doesn't sound like it's a misdemeanor to me. All right. So when's the last time you had employment?
Before I got locked up.
And what were you doing?
A diesel mechanic.
All right. None of this would have happened if, one.
Here's where Judge lays it out raw. From smoking with a juvenile to lying to police and resisting arrest, the judge walks us through the chain of bad decisions like dominoes falling. And then comes the taser, a moment Carlos will never forget. The judge doesn't sugarcoat anything. This wasn't one mistake. It was a pattern.
As you were trying to flirt with her and wanted a kiss, and she said no, and that was the end of it. And you already had a girlfriend waiting for you. All of this could have been avoided. But then you continue. Then the next thing that ends up happening, the police are called. They knock on your door. They're trying to identify you. And according to them, you give them the wrong name. And then they want to detain you to try to get your information. Then what do? You take off running. And then I can tell you this, I'd say 99.99% of the time, when you go up against a taser, you're not going to win. So then you get hit with a taser, you fall on the concrete, end up with a busted lip, and still you won't stop struggling. The officer says you headbutt him. That's why we're here. And so this entire offense is you making horrendous choices. So you're going to have to start making better choices. Otherwise, you're going to end up potentially on this case in the prison for 10 years. Do you understand?
Carlos drops a bombshell. He's a father of 5, including one child he just discovered isn't biologically his, but still considers his own. That vulnerability stuns the courtroom. You see a man who's made mistakes, but also shows loyalty and fatherhood. And that emotional angle, it may just tip the scales.
Then I have my youngest one. Well, I just found out he wasn't mine, but I still consider him he's my child. He's 2.
All right. You know, if you're with people, sometimes maybe it's best to have DNA testing done. I'm sure your counsel will tell you that.
You wouldn't expect a deep moment from a neck tattoo, but here we are. The judge peels back the curtain using Carlos's ink as a window into his life. 7 sisters, 1 favorite, a daughter's name. These tattoos become a timeline, but the judge also raises an eyebrow. Are these signs of love or remnants of a chaotic past?
All right. Why do you have your sister's initials?
She's my favorite sister.
How many sisters do you have?
I have 7.
Oh, well, what do they say about that?
Oh, man, I got their names on me too. She's the coolest one.
And what does your mom say about that?
She hates them. She doesn't like tattoos at all.
Yeah, the safest thing to do, moms never like tattoos usually. So if you want to get one, say, have your mom's name, because she'll be upset about it. But what can she really say? It says, love mom.
Yeah, I was going to get that too, but she told me not to.
Okay.
She begged me.
So you have 7 sisters' names on you?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I have one of my daughter's names on my chest too.
Okay.
Keandra.
All right. And what about your other children? Do you have their names?
I have CJ. That's just my name. It's just Junior.
Mhm.
And then I have Cabello, which is the oldest one.
Mhm.
And then I have the other one on my back. My daughter's name is
Okay. All right. I'm always interested in people's tattoos because when people come before me, the only thing I know about them is that you just play it to an offense. So the only thing I know about you is that you play it to this offense and you're guilty of this offense. So tattoos sometimes will tell me a life story. Sometimes it'll tell me that you're gang affiliated. It tells me different things about you. So I'm always curious about tattoos. And I understand the neck tattoo, that's very painful.
Yes, it was.
All right. Well, I mean, you really love her.
Yeah, she's my favorite sister.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the court is going to sentence you to 10 years in the prison, suspended in.
The gavel is dropped, 10 years probated. Community service, fines, relocation to Tarrant County, and strict reporting. But here's the wild card. If Carlos earns his GED and gets a trade certificate, half his community service vanishes. This is more than punishment. It's a second chance if he takes it.
My kids,
All
I
right.
always had to work.
You have your GED. So what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life?
Actually, the job that I'm going to go back to is Ready Cable. He said he's going to send me to Houston to do all that stuff to get certifications. But he said I had to get a high school diploma or a GED. So he said he's going to pay for it.
All right. If he obtains his GED, then 100 hours of the community service restitution will be deemed satisfied. And then if he obtains his certification from some sort of trade school, plumbing, welding, along those lines, then the remaining community service hours will be deemed satisfied. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular random UAs, anger management, proof of employment within.
A serious limitation appears Carlos can't work in home health care or around minors. That's no small restriction. It shows the court still sees a risk despite the mental health defense. And one wrong move, it could revoke probation and send him straight to prison.
Information to probation before you travel. So you don't have to come back to the court for permission to travel, but you'll still need to provide proof to probation. All right?
Okay.
Counsel, are there any drug issues with your client?
No, Judge.
All right, and we'll do a referral to Mick. And we can do that evaluation out of custody because I know he needs to go to Tarrant County for whatever charges he has there. And we can do a TAP evaluation out of custody as well. And if the transfer is not accepted, then there's to be field visits one time per month for 3 months. And if there is a transfer, then it'll be one time per month for 4 months. Probation, is there anything else he needs?
No, Your Honor.
All right, is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
Yes, is there a way that I can get like my social security number and birth certificate?
All right, with regards to your social security or birth certificate? Oh, just 1 second, I'll address that in just a moment.
Marstelch. The judge gives Carlos a reality check about government red tape. Trying to get his birth certificate or social security number will be a battle of long lines and phone calls. But there's a bigger message here. Navigating life after conviction is its own kind of sentence.
To appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so
So where does that leave us? Carlos Terzas pleaded guilty to assaulting a peace officer, accepted a 10-year suspended sentence, and walked away with probation, but only after 17 months in jail, a courtroom confession, and a promise to turn his life around. The judge's ruling offers a second chance, with strings. But what do you think? Was justice served? Could this man truly change his path, or is this just a pause before the next fall? If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.